Namaste, y'all. Welcome, welcome. My name is Becca YogaBex Cummings, and I'm here at All About Woo headquarters in Austin, Texas. Super excited for this conversation today about the clair senses, all about extrasensory perception, or ESP, and the psychic channels of intuition. So let's dive in. Uh, Extrasensory perception, or ESP, is perception beyond the five physical senses. Okay, so our five physical senses are seeing or sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. Those are the five physical senses. And each of those five physical senses has a more subtle psychic sense attached to it. Okay, so sight, sound, smell, or scent, taste, and touch, or touch. And then there's three more that we're going to dive into: knowing, feeling or sensation, and emotion or empathy. Okay, so the eight psychic senses, and everyone's psychic, everyone's intuitive. It's just we learn not to trust it, we learn to question it. Um, and even though we're talking about these as eight distinct things, there's crossover, right? So think about there's when you can't smell, when your sense of smell is missing, like you're sick or something, food doesn't taste the same, right? So there's some crossover between our senses. And it's the same thing with your psychic senses, okay? So even though we're talking about these eight distinct categories, it's just so help wrap our minds around it. And as I'm talking about each of these, notice the response within you, what lights up for you if you really resonate with one or more. Because everyone has a primary psychic sense or channel, and often you're using other ones in conjunction with that, right? Because there's so much crossover between the senses, our physical senses, as well as our psychic senses. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about, and take everything I say, take it in, check it out for yourself, see how it feels to you, because you may experience things in a different way than I present. So just be open to, your own experience as well. All right, so let's start at the crown of the head. That is where our clear knowing comes in. This is actually a very common psychic sense that people have, and it's the most challenging one to trust because you just have a knowing. You just know. You receive a download. There's no data. Okay, so that one is claircognizance, or clear knowing. The second one I want to talk about is clear seeing through the actual physical eyes. Some people, self included, can see auras or energy around physical objects. Now, I can't see that, in all situations, but if I have someone stand in front of a white background, I can easily see their aura. My acupuncturist in Montana, she is, rest her soul, she's passed on, but she could see I asked her one time, I was like, how do you know where to put the needles? And she said, the points just light up for me. She actually saw little points, little sparks or points of light where she needed to place the needles. Now, she also had studied the meridians and the energy body and the points of energy mapped out in the physical, but they lit up for her. Okay, so there's seeing that way, but there's also your inner vision of related to the third eye, comes through visions, dreams, um, and also you may notice visually if you have clairvoyance, clear seeing, inner sight. You may also notice like things in your environment might light up for you, like repeating numbers or certain numbers in a certain order, or like on a billboard or something when you're driving by, like a word might light up for you. So it can come through the actual physical eyes as well, your clairvoyance or your clear seeing. Let me look at my notes here and make sure I covered. Oh, and also, some people can see dead people. One of my favorite paranormal shows is Dead Files, and it's a law enforcement gentleman, a retired law enforcement detective, and a psychic medium who is able to see dead people, and they work together on cases to help families release spirits who have passed on that are trapped in this realm. So the next one, so we've got clear knowing, clear seeing, claircognizance, clairvoyance. Now clear hearing, clairaudience comes through sound, either sounds in the actual physical environment or inner sounds, inner voices, hearing your own voice or hearing another voice. Oftentimes for me, the directions are sometimes it has the you, like you need to, or you can, or something like that. But oftentimes it's just like turn right. It's very short, succinct, and it's very, for me, it's very quiet. I'm working to turn up the volume on that this year, to turn up my clairaudience. Some musicians often actually hear the music that they create and channel. You could hear tones or sounds in one or both ears. Sometimes I'll hear a tone, and when that happens, I just kind of pause what I'm doing and tune into what's happening or how I'm feeling. I don't have a lot of clarity as to the meaning of the tone yet, but I usually take it as a sign to pause and be more present. And that clear hearing can come in through the physical ears, but it's also said to relate to that third eye center and come in on either side of the head, right in above the ears, connected to that third eye ability. All right, so next let's talk about sense, clear smelling. Clairsalience. It's kind of a weird word. Scents you smell that are not present in the physical environment. Say your grandmother passes away and then you smell her perfume, or maybe your favorite cookies that she used to bake or something like that, but there's nobody baking cookies. I had it happen one time where, and that one may be just come in every once in a while, or it could be your primary one. But I had a colleague, friend pass away, and as I was driving in my vehicle with a couple other friends past where he worked, we got stopped at a stoplight right next to the building where he used to work, where I had spent time in there with him. And we were just like, the whole car was just filled up with like candle wax smell, like burning candle smell. And we all kind of just all sensed it at the same time. And we're like, what is that? And we're at a stoplight, like behind a big bus or something. We should be smelling exhaust, but we're smelling burning candle wax. Let's see. The next one we want to talk about is taste. So through the mouth. Clairgustance, clear tasting. Not super common, but can occur. And there are stories of detectives or law enforcement, police officers able to taste either chemicals, or this sounds gross, but blood, or whatever. Kind of the taste brings them to look in certain places in the house or crime scene or whatever. Or to know that there's some sort of connection to a chemical that was used, things like that. A little bit rare, that one. Let's see. Our next one is clairempathy. So tuning into emotional energy that is not yours. It's being generated from outside of you. And with all of these clair senses, they can they can reflect information to us that is from the past, that's occurring in the now, or that is precognitive, that is like a premonition or something from the future. So, say you walk into somebody's house and come into the living room, and the night before there was like a major argument or something. You might feel the emotion of that tension, that residue. You might actually feel it as an emotional energy in your body, oftentimes through the heart center for people, but can be really anywhere in the body, wherever you tend to feel different emotions. Everybody's a little different there, but in the heart or the torso area, maybe a tightness in the stomach if it's a lower vibration emotion, things like that. And it also can be for positive emotions too. So that emotional residue or emotional energy. Uh, Next, we have clear touching through the hands or the feet. Those are the biggest receptors, and you can receive information through actually, touching an object, like holding something that used to belong to someone else. That could activate one of your other clear senses, like you might have an image flash, so it can activate your clear seeing. You might hear something, you might know something, you might have an emotional response, so it can activate one of the other channels. The clear touch or contact, you can, it's also called psychometry, and it also can be like if you touch another person, it might activate or turn on some other knowings or emotions or things like that. So that's the clear touch, clairtangiency, and it comes through the hands or the soles of the feet. Those are the biggest receptors for that. When I'm doing, like, if I have these goddess cards, and when I'm at like tarot cards, I'll spread them out in a circle, and I use my left hand because the left hand is your receiver. Right hand is the giver, left hand's the receiver. So I want to receive the information, and my fingertips will get a little tingly when I get over the card I'm supposed to pull. So then I use that. So that's a form of the clear touching. And then the last one is clear physical sensation, clear physical feeling. So not emotions, but sensation in the body. Goosebumps, getting extremely hot all of a sudden or extremely cold, feeling sensation in the gut, feeling tightness in the chest, or things like that. Many people feel that are clear feelers, clairsentient, clairsentient. All these are, I've got them written down over here because it's easy to forget what they are. But clear feeling can be anywhere on the physical body, but however, a lot of people will feel it in the solar plexus, so right here at the bottom of the ribs, or in the gut instinct, the classic gut instinct. What sort of things, so let me just review those real quick. So we have the claircognizance, the knowings, just comes in, the downloads. We have the clear seeing, the clairvoyance, related to the third eye center, but also you can actually see things with your physical, through the physical eyes. So it can be an inner vision or actually sensing things through like a light, auras, things like that, or seeing symbols or seeing dead people. Then we have clairaudience, clear hearing, which comes in as an inner voice or outer sounds. Music, tones, messages. We have, and that also connects to that third eye center. We have clear smelling coming in through the nose, clairsalience, sense you smell that are not present in the physical environment. We have clear tasting, clairgustance through the mouth. We have, and that's a rare one, we have clairempathy that comes in through the emotional body, through emotional energy. And I know I've got a lot of empaths out there. Uh, clairtangency, clear touching, coming in through actual touch, touching a physical object, and then that can activate one of your other senses, one of your other clair senses, where you see an image, hear a voice, have a knowing, things like that. Or it could even activate a taste or a smell. So, like going to an antique store and picking up different objects and testing that one out. That'd be a fun thing to do, right? Hopefully. um, and then the last one, clairsentience, clear physical sensation or clear physical feeling. And that can be how your intuition arrives through physical sensation like goosebumps, tingles, feeling in the solar plexus or lower belly, getting extremely hot or cold, one of those things. Things that can block our intuition, our clair senses, our limiting beliefs can block them, not believing in yourself, not believing that you have these abilities. Everyone has these psychic abilities. Everyone is intuitive, okay? And so just knowing that you are intuitive helps you tune in or attune to these different, more subtle senses. So believe in yourself. And overthinking, overdoing, being so busy that you're kind of losing yourself in action. So trying or efforting is another big blocker. Like one gentleman calls it giving yourself spiritual hemorrhoids, like you're trying so hard. Stress can block it. So relax. Bring in relaxation practices. Bring in quieting practices, calming the fluctuations of the mind, stilling the mind, breath work, yoga, other mind body practices. Allow yourself to relax and just be. Give yourself time off. Do some journaling or writing. Other things that open up those intuitive channels are creative activities, activities just for the sake of the fun of it, like playing music, painting, drawing, creative writing, things that bring you joy, things that seem, maybe extraneous, things that are just fun to do that don't necessarily serve a specific purpose, but they bring you joy and they raise your spirits. And then you're more connected to your intuition and your inner knowings through one of those 8 channels: knowing, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, empathy, the emotional body, and feeling or sensation in the body. So that's what I have for you today. Put in the comments what you feel like your primary intuitive channels are, and you're probably using more than one. Again, there's a lot of crossover, just like our taste is related to our sense of smell and things like that. So be open to exploring that, and let me know what your primary channels are. And if you're not sure, let's just set up a time to connect one-on-one, and I can help you discern that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for exploring this and being your unique, amazing self. I appreciate you all very much. Happy clair sensing. Happy psychic sensing. Namaste, y'all.